My mom bragged at dinner. I sold your daughter's jewelry, the one you gifted her, and used the money to buy your stepdad a new car. My stepdad cheered, finally making smart decisions. I didn't react. The next day, the jewelry buyer called screaming and panicking. Mom was halfway through her steak when she said it. We were sitting in their dining room. The chandelier above the table cast warm light across the Sunday dinner spread. Mom's good china, roasted vegetables, wine glasses catching the glow. I was cutting into my chicken when Mom set down her fork and grinned. Got some good news, she said, looking at my stepdad, Richard. Remember that jewelry set, the one Emma's grandmother left her? My hand stopped mid-cut. I sold it yesterday, she said. Got $12,000 for it. Used the money as a down payment on that Audi you wanted. Richard's face lit up. He actually clapped. No way. The black one? Black one. Leather interior. The works. Mom raised her wine glass. Finally making smart decisions around here. They clinked glasses, laughing. I sat there, knife and fork in my hands, my throat tight. The jewelry set. My grandmother's emerald necklace, bracelet, and earrings. She'd given them to me before she died. Told me they'd been in our family for 3 generations. Made me promise to keep them safe. I'd stored them at my parents' house because my apartment had been broken into the year before. I thought they'd be safer there. Emma? Richard's voice cut through the ringing in my ears. You're being quiet. I looked up. 2 faces staring at me. I smiled. Just thinking about work stuff. Sorry. Mom waved her hand dismissively. Well, stop thinking and eat. This meal cost me enough as it is. Richard laughed again. Not anymore. Now you've got Audi money. They went back to eating, talking about the car, the features, how Richard couldn't wait to drive it. I finished my meal, said I wasn't feeling well, left early. Nobody asked if I was okay. I drove home in silence. My hands were shaking on the steering wheel. The next morning, I called my lawyer. Your mother sold property that belonged to you, she said after I explained everything. That's theft. Do you have proof the jewelry was yours? My grandmother's will. It specifically lists the jewelry set and names me as the recipient. Good. Get me a copy. We'll start with a demand letter. I went to the bank where my grandmother's will was stored in a safety deposit box, made copies, sent them to my lawyer. Then I did something else. I called the jewelry buyer Mom had sold to. Found his number through the pawn shop database online. Small operation, family owned. Mr. Chen, this is Emma Martinez. My mother sold you an emerald jewelry set yesterday. Yeah, beautiful pieces. 12,000. Fair price. I'm sure it was. I just wanted to let you know those pieces were stolen. I'm the legal owner. I have documentation. Silence on the other end. I've already contacted my lawyer and filed a police report. The jewelry will need to be returned as evidence. You should receive official notification within 48 hours. You should receive official notification within 48 hours. If you want to wait, your mother said. My mother lied. She stole from me and sold my property without permission. I'm sorry you got caught in the middle, but I'm recovering what's mine. I hung up. For the next week, I acted normal. I didn't call my parents, didn't text, just went to work, went to the gym, lived my life. My lawyer sent the demand letter. Mom called me twice. I didn't answer. The police report was filed. The jewelry buyer contacted the police, panicked because he'd resold one of the pieces already and would have to buy it back at a loss. Everything was moving. Then came the family dinner. Mom's birthday. She'd invited me weeks ago. I showed up with flowers and a smile. She and Richard were already there. The Audi was parked in the driveway. We ate, made small talk. Mom opened presents. Then her phone rang. She looked at the screen, frowned, stepped into the kitchen to answer. I could hear her voice rising. What do you mean seized? That's my car. Richard's phone rang next. He answered. Went pale. There what? No, that's I didn't know. Mom came back into the dining room. Her face was red. What did you do? She said, looking at me. I set down my fork. I filed a police report for theft. The jewelry buyer contacted authorities. They're seizing the car as proceeds from stolen property. You'll both likely face charges. Richard stood up. You can't do this. I already did. Mom's face went white. Emma, please, we can work this out. No, my voice was calm, steady. You stole from me. You celebrated it. You made me watch you celebrate it. Her hands were shaking. That jewelry was just sitting there. It was mine. Grandma gave it to me. You had no right. The room went silent. Richard was staring at his phone, at the texts coming through. Repo notices, court dates. Mom sank into her chair. I stood up, picked up my purse. Happy birthday, Mom. I walked to the door, stepped outside, and got in my car. Full story on the channel linked below.